Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban has issued a stark warning to Brussels and the European Union, making it clear that Hungary will not contribute weapons, soldiers, or financial aid to Europe's ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Orban has openly criticized the EU's current aggressive strategy, asserting that it poses a significant risk to European lives, unnecessarily drains vital resources, and primarily benefit external actors while neglecting Hungary's fundamental interests. He remains steadfast in his conviction that Hungary should prioritize peace and diplomatic engagement with Russia rather than becoming entangled in what he describes as the EU's frontline war plan. This stance underscores the profound divisions emerging within Europe concerning its policy on Ukraine and highlights Hungary's unwavering commitment to safeguarding its national sovereignty amidst increasing external pressure. The Hungarian government believes that its approach is essential for maintaining stability and protecting its citizens from the potential repercussions of an expanded conflict. Orban's consistent calls for de-escalation and dialogue position Hungary as a dissenting voice within the EU, emphasizing a different path forward based on national interests and a pragmatic assessment of geopolitical realities. Europe is currently grappling with a significant energy rebellion, as Turkey, Hungary, and Slovakia openly defy mounting pressure from both NATO and the European Union. These three nations are continuing their purchases of Russian oil and gas, firmly prioritizing the security of their energy pipelines, ensuring domestic stability, and preparing adequately for the upcoming winter month over adherence to Western sanctions. Leaders such as President Erdogan of Turkey, Prime Minister Orban of Hungary, and Prime Minister Fico of Slovakia are collectively sending a powerful message. National survival and pragmatic interests take precedence over ideological alignment, and their relationships with Russia are deemed more crucial than strict compliance with NATO and EU directives. This defiance is occurring against a backdrop of considerable turmoil in European energy markets, largely exacerbated by Russia's export limitations and Ukraine's persistent attacks on critical energy infrastructure. The resulting chaos has led to soaring diesel prices, a desperate scramble for alternative energy shipments, and a noticeable weakening in Brussels' capacity to effectively enforce its sanction regimes. As the specter of widespread energy shortage looms large, the traditional influence of the West is being directly challenged, revealing significant fractures within NATO's unity and exposing Europe's enduring and critical reliance on Russian energy supplies. The resolve of these nations to secure their energy needs demonstrates a strategic calculation that puts immediate national well-being at the forefront, even if it means diverging from established alliance. The Warsaw Security Forum became the setting for a sharp ideological clash between Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban regarding Europe's appropriate stance on the Ukraine war. Prime Minister Tusk unequivocally declared the conflict to be our war, framing it as an existential battle crucial for the survival of Western civilization. In stark contrast, Prime Minister Orban vehemently rejected this interpretation, maintaining that Hungary is not and will not be at war with Russia. He further issued a serious warning to Brussels, cautioning against policies that could potentially endanger the lives of millions of Europeans. This public confrontation vividly illustrate the deep and growing divisions across the European Union, with other member states such as Slovakia and Bulgaria also expressing significant reservations and pushing back against Brussels' overarching Ukraine policy. The differing perspectives highlight a fundamental disagreement over the nature of the conflict and the extent to which individual nations should commit resources and risk to its resolution. These internal disagreements underscore the complex geopolitical landscape within Europe and the challenge of forging a unified front when national interests and perceived threats diverge so widely. The debate reflects a broader struggle over the strategic direction and future identity of the European project itself. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has launched a scathing critics of Brussels' current war strategy, dismissing the European Union's ambitious plan to achieve victory over Russia through a combination of sustained economic pressure and extensive arms support for Ukraine as an illusion destined for collapse. In a candid radio interview, Orban issued a severe warning, asserting that Europe is recklessly spending billions it simply cannot afford, while simultaneously putting the lives of its own soldiers at unacceptable risk. He unequivocally rejected any prospect of Ukraine's potential membership in the EU, declaring emphatically that Hungarians do not want to die for Ukraine. Orban further cautioned that Ukraine's accession would inevitably drag the entire bloc into a direct and potentially catastrophic war with Russia. He reaffirmed Hungary's steadfast commitment to remaining outside the conflict, openly accusing opposition parties aligned with Brussels of attempting to manipulate the country into a war that the vast majority of Hungarians fundamentally oppose. Despite these tensions with the EU and its pro-sanction stance, Hungary has simultaneously secured its largest liquefied natural gas (LNG) deal to date with France ENGIE, a significant 10-year agreement that signals a strategic pivot away from its historic reliance on Russian energy sources. While former US President Donald Trump has exerted pressure on Hungary to further distance itself from Moscow, Orban has consistently held his ground on various policy fronts. Meanwhile, neighboring Poland has raised serious red flags concerning increased Russian activity in proximity to vital gas pipelines, adding another layer of complexity to the region's energy security concerns and geopolitical dynamics. If you have made it this far, congratulations. You have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. With Viktor Orban claiming the EU is pursuing a war strategy that risks European lives and funds, while leaders like Donald Tusk frame it as an existential battle for the West, whose vision for Europe's future do you believe is correct? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, hit the notification, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.